Hello, I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor with Retail Insider. My guest today is Michael Kehoe, who is broker of record with Fairfield Commercial Real Estate in Calgary. Thanks for joining us, Mike.
Thank you for the invitation, Mario.
All right, Mike, you're going to talk a little bit about downtown retail. And let's preface this by saying, two things I've experienced recently in both Calgary and Edmonton as I go downtown. It's quite a challenged place, to put it mildly, these days in downtown cores. What are you seeing in the markets?
Well, we're seeing that consumer footfall is increasing. Retail sales are following. And in both cities, Calgary and Edmonton, and reports from our industry colleagues across Canada, downtowns are back. The recovery is slow. It will take years for a full recovery, but the sales increases that we're seeing from shopping venues in downtown cores are impressive. And the workplace has changed probably forever, let's face it. And the nature of consumer traffic and patterns will be different. But I'm optimistic that a recovery is underway and it's positive.
Let me just backtrack for a second. As we look in the past 2.5 years we've gone through, at its most difficult time in the downtown, how bad was it in 2020, maybe some parts of 2021 for downtown cores across this country?
And food service outlets struggled seriously. It affected people's lives. It affected their businesses. And it was a difficult situation. However, the parties worked together, and building owners, shopping center owners did a fine job of keeping storefronts activated, businesses surviving. And I think the recovery is well underway. So it was bad. I think everyone learned lessons, certainly on how to get along and cooperate. And I think the recovery is underway, and it's going to be positive from here on.
So let's talk about that recovery. We're into October now, and what are you seeing out there in the retail sector?
Well, we're seeing that consumer footfall in retail shopping and dining venues is strong, and the sales are following. So the recovery is underway. New businesses are opening. The vacancy rate on the retail sector is low, and rents are stable. Sales are increasing. And, I think we've learned our lessons over the past 2.5 years, certainly on what shopping centers are and will become in the future. And I think certainly in Canada, we're blessed with a good, stable market. We're not overbuilt. We have a strong retail sector. Great brands, legacy brands in Canada are reinventing themselves to cater to a younger shopper. And we're seeing a lot of innovation, and it's an exciting time.
Yeah. The brands, I guess, that are doing well are the ones that have embraced that whole omni-channel spectrum.
Yes, the omni-channel retailing is critical to any retailer's success, backed up by a bricks and mortar store. We're seeing that the industry is more polarized than ever right now, with on the value end of the spectrum, with dollar stores, stores that have a strong presentation, with a strong value proposition to the consumer, are excelling right now in these challenging times of inflation and rising interest rates. And on the other end of the spectrum, the luxury retail and higher quality brands are excelling as well. So it's an interesting dichotomy here right now, and it's fascinating to watch.
Well, we're heading into the holiday shopping season if we're not in it already, right? Many people kind of look at back to school as actually the beginning of the holiday shopping season. But as we approach things like Black Friday and Cyber Monday and Christmas and Boxing Day, et cetera, et cetera. What are you expecting this year, Mike?
Well, the momentum will continue from a strong back to school sales period right into the holiday selling season, which is critical for retailers. And, the challenges with shipping and merchandise delivery seem to have been sorted out for the most part, but there are continuing challenges. But I think overall, the industry is positive going into the fourth quarter, and expectations are high for a good recovery sales period.
Mm-hmm. Do you think, everybody's talking these days about rising inflation and everything is costing more from your ground beef at the at the grocery store to a piece of clothing. What impact do you think that's going to have on consumers? Are they going to spend less, do you think, this year? Or
I don't see them spending less. I see them spending smarter, more cautiously. Certainly, there is some sticker shock at the till at grocery stores and other venues. But, I think part of this could be a bit of a media construct. People seem to be getting on with their lives. They're out shopping, they're dining, the restaurants are full. Um, the shopping centers are busy. I think people are getting on with their lives. They may ratcheting down their expectations a little on the spending side, but I think it's going to be a positive year.
now I understand, Mike, you're headed east to the big city, Toronto, next week for a consumer real estate conference. Tell me a little bit about that and what you expect out of that conference.
Yes, it's the annual Canadian convention of the consumer real estate industry. Be my 40th year attending,
Wow.
and it's going to be interesting. There are almost 1,500 people registered, which is down from pre-COVID, but we're expecting a strong representation of the industry. Deal sentiment is positive. There's going to be a lot of stores and restaurants leased, shopping centers, new projects. It's an exciting time in the consumer real estate industry in Canada.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, right, the activity is strong, right, when it comes to from the real estate perspective of things, right? And what I'm just curious of, from the retailers that you deal with, like, what are they looking for when they're looking for space these days?
They're looking for affordable rents. They're looking for lease terms that will sync up with their business plan. Rent is always a function of sales. And I think retailers, stores and restaurants need affordable rents. They need good footfall, consumer footfall, and the rest will take care of itself. So it is an exciting time in the consumer real estate industry in Canada, and yeah, I'm positive.
All right, always good to be positive, right, Mike? All right, super. That was Michael Kehoe, who is a broker of record at Fairfield Commercial Real Estate in Calgary. I'm Mario Toneguzzi, Senior News Editor with Retail Insider. Thanks for joining us today.